Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Wednesday's Dan's and today's Kevin's album analysis and rating. How's it going, Kevin? All right.
Good.
You must remember him from Sonic Boom TV and the Kansas Connection. So, how are you today?
Good.
All right.
Very good.
So, tell us, what was your suggestion for us to do an album analysis and rating on today?
Firehouse debut album, self-titled Firehouse.
Mm-hmm. All right. So,
Try to
we'll
get
be
the light
doing
off of
this.
it.
Yeah. So, Kevin had suggested me, doing a Firehouse. Was it Firehouse? And then what was the last one we did? And it
We
was
did Saigon Kick,
Brittany
and we
Fox.
did Brittany Fox. We did
It was between Brittany Fox and Firehouse the first time. So we did Brittany Fox, and then we'll say, well,
yeah,
might as well do a Firehouse now, right? I think
yeah,
that's how it happens.
yeah.
So
That's good. We'll go stick with that.
there you go. Well, again, the rules of these Wednesday episodes, if you're not familiar yet, is every Wednesday I'll be doing a an album analysis and rating of an album that viewers will suggest in the comments. Okay, and Kevin suggested Firehouse, so he'll get a shout out. He'll even get to co-host this one here. But yeah, he suggested Firehouse, the self-titled one. So again, if you want a shout out or whatever, just write in the comments an album you would like me to do an album analysis and rating. I can't say the word analysis properly.
Analysis.
Say anal, but anyway, analyst. So anyway, we are going to be doing song per song of this here. So before we start off with this, if you do like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Hit the little thumbs up and little bell to be notified when I publish new content like this. Now, having said that, this album here we're going to be talking about came out in 1990. Was on Epic Records and produced by David Prater. I don't know the pronunciation.
Prater, I think.
Prater, yeah, because there's only one T. Okay. On the band, or who's on the album, is CJ Snare. Rest in peace. He passed away last year. Who's on lead vocals and keyboards. Bill Leverty on guitars, background vocals. Perry Richardson, who's now actually in Striper, on bass and background vocals. And Michael Foster on drums, percussion, and background vocals. This is not an original. I believe Kevin has the same version as I do from Real Gone Music. If
Got the little hype sticker still.
There you go, yeah. If you watched my episode on 2 days ago regarding the Blue Murder episode, you'll notice that's also another Real Gone Music. They're one of my favorite record labels, and I believe Kevin's actually the one that introduced me to Real Gone Music. So thank you. There's some great stuff.
They put out a lot of good stuff. They got some stuff that I just saw an email today that there's like 3 things that I want, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to get them.
Better than Ezra, yeah.
I've got that one already.
Oh, okay. I saw that one, yeah.
That one's a different color vinyl.
Oh yeah,
but there's a couple other ones I was like, oh man.
Great record company. I love what they're coming out with here. So today, and I don't know if it was issued or reissued because of CJ Snare passing away. This came out like what, or was announced a month or 2 after his passing, almost.
I'm not sure about that. I couldn't tell you. But it's right up their alley of what they put out anyway.
I know, but I'm just saying maybe it was pushed a little bit because of his passing.
It could have been.
Same thing with the Blue Murder one. John Sykes has passed away, and then
all of a sudden,
sought after albums with nothing but trouble just came out on Real Gone Music. So anyway, but we are here to talk about Firehouse. So, the rules of the game. We will be looking at each song on the album. So there are 12 songs in all. We will talk about each song, give our rating, and we will then do an average and see what we get out of 10 for, even though there's 12 songs, I know math, so I know how to put it to out of 10 there. So we will be talking about that. So since Mr. Kevin from Sonic Boom TV, I don't know if you can see his light flashing in the back. Why don't you start us off since this was your suggestion? So, song number one, "Rock on the Radio."
Well, before I do that, I wanted to just kind of give a little Firehouse story time kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when this came out, I was still in high school, and for some reason, bands like this got called posers, and that means you're acting like something you're not. And I never could figure that out, why they would say that, because they weren't acting like anything besides what they were.
Yeah.
So I don't know why, but it was always the guys that were cooler than everybody else, I guess, and they only listened to a certain kind of heavy metal. And so I don't know, I just kind of went away with that. But when this album came out, I thought it was great, and it was like, it came out at the right time. I mean, it was a little late, but it still was, the right time for what they had on this album, and it kind of like blew me away. But nobody I knew was really into it, even though it was a very popular album.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, I guess they didn't. Their next one didn't come out till 91 or 92, I think.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was in college, and I was aware of the album, and I was aware of one of the singles, but I thought that was it for them. I didn't know that they kept going. And it was like 98 or 99. I was talking to a random guy, and he brought them up, and I was like, "Are they still around?" And he says, "Yeah, they're big in Japan." And I was thinking he was joking, because that was always the joke when a band was no longer popular in America. They were big in Japan. Well, I looked them up, and sure enough, they were big in Japan. So, all their albums kept charting in Japan, and I was totally not aware of them. And I never had anything else by them until 2 days ago, when I was in a random thrift store, and I found the second album, brand new. It looked like it was never played.
It was brand new, too.
It was brand new, yeah. It was.
Oh wow! I thought it was used. Okay, that's even better.
It was used, but it looked like it never had been played before. And they had a bunch of stuff in there as well, but most of the stuff I had already. But anyway, so I was just like, kind of funny that we were just thinking about doing this episode, and then I had never heard anything else by them, and then 2 days before, I got their second album. Yeah. So anyway, now on to this album. "Rock on the Radio" is the first song.
Yeah.
This is my least favorite song on the album. And the thing of it is because of the intro, it sounds like the Doctor Who theme almost. If you listen to it, it's got that weird kind of like it's going to turn into that hey, yeah. And that ruins it for me. And that's only the beginning of the song. So the rest of the song is it's not the greatest rock metal song, whatever, but it's good enough. But because of that beginning, I got to give it a 5.
Okay. I'll write it down here.
It just kind of bothers me.
I'm sort of in agreement with you. I gave it a 7. I find the drum intro, and then they go rock.
Right.
I find that part more interesting than the song itself. And it kind of goes, you're like, oh, this is going to be like really not speedy, but very in your face. And then da 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 da. It's like it kind of loses a little bit of speed. So I gave it a 7.
Yeah.
It's a good song. I find the drum intro a great intro to the album, but the album itself, I was like, it's not my least favorite of the album there. That'll come later on.
I think they could have either moved it out of the first spot or even left it off for me. But it's a good song, a good enough song,
I like it. I just don't love it. So you gave it a 5. I gave it a 7.
Yes.
All right. Next up, All She Wrote.
Now, All She Wrote, I think, should have been the first song because it's kind of heavy. It rocks out. It's got a good chorus, and it's got a lot of energy for it. Yeah, and I gave it a 9. I go jump from 5 to 9 that quick. It's one of the better songs on the album. I think one of the best songs. I mean, and I think it should have been a single. I don't know if it was. I think they only had 2 singles.
It was definitely a video. I could tell you that.
Mhm.
It was. It was a sing. There was 4 singles on that album. That was
Maybe that
the 4th one. You'll be surprised
Okay.
at what the first single was actually.
Yeah, I forgot to look those up. Which ones were? I kind of know 2 of them, and maybe 3, but I wasn't sure if that one was. So okay, that's one of my favorite songs on the album.
Okay, so there is a video for that, and it was a single. So I also gave it a 9. I friggin' love that song, but there's another song I love, well, 2 other songs I love even more. I give it a 9. It's a good song. It's a lot of people's favorites. It's not my favorite of the album, but that chorus is so catchy. And I remember Striper actually covering this song when CJ Snare passed away. So they played this song live because Perry Richardson, who's on the bass player for the first 4 albums, is now in Striper. So they were doing that. And but yeah, All She Wrote to me, super catchy. Also a 9 for me, but there's stuff that I like a lot better than that. But this is actually a very big crowd favorite. I'll say that. So All She Wrote, I'm also giving it a 9. Next up, we have Shake and Tumble. And before you say anything, this was actually the first single of the album, and it didn't chart at all.
Really?
Yeah, according to Wikipedia.
Okay. Because I really like this song. I also give this one a 9.
Okay.
It's heavy. It's got a catchy chorus, and it just rocks out. And it kind of takes it like, okay, this might be a really rocking album. And I really really like that song. I couldn't give it a 10, but it's just it's one of those that stick in your head.
Yeah, it's a great song to me. Like, I don't find there's a bad song at all on this album.
No, I don't find anything that I hate at all.
Exactly. So okay, so you gave it a 9. I gave it a 7.5. Actually, it's a good song for me.
35.
Maybe it was just because I was shocked as this was a first single of it. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's a good. Again, there's no bad songs, but I'm just putting 7.5 for this one here. It's decent song. Nothing bad. Just it's there. So cool. All right, next up, Don't Treat Me Bad.
Now, this is the one that I thought was the first single.
This was actually me too. Actually, I thought that's the first time I heard of it, but it was their second.
Okay,
Dad's went 19 in the U.S.
19. Okay,
in the charts, yeah.
Yep. This one seems like they played it everywhere. It was. I know it was on MTV a lot, and it feels like the radio played it a lot. It's a great song. I said it's a perfect song actually for that era, that time. Did everything it needed to do. Had the catchy chorus, kind of rocked out a bit, and I just put it's the perfect song.
Yeah.
And again, like I remember those guys. Like I said, they were all against the band for whatever. It's like, how could you not like that song? I mean, I don't know.
I bet you the guy that was calling them posers was using that. He probably doesn't even know what the definition means.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it's easy to call somebody a poser.
Right. Yeah. That was definitely
know what the actual definition is.
Right.
Which is a pretender.
And People today try to say like, the heavy metal fans are all inclusive and stuff. Back then wasn't so much like that. They were not. And I think this band appealed to girls
Yeah, a lot. Yeah,
as much as guys. And so they didn't like that, because it was a boys club back then and
yeah, of
and
course.
it's even though I had plenty of friends that were girls that were like this kind of music,
Mhm.
but a lot of guys were like that. So, but I really think that's the perfect song for that era.
All right. So
Um,
what did you give that one?
I gave that a 10.
Okay. Well, guess what? So did I. That is the perfect pop hard rock song. It is so
Yeah,
good,
yeah, yeah.
super catchy, great little intro with the acoustic guitar. His
Mhm.
voice is so good too on not just this song, this whole album. This guy had actually a
Yeah.
very good high voice. Um, did you know that there are two videos for this song?
No.
So one of them is I saw it. I prefer one than the other, but one that most people have never seen, or as I've seen, it's on YouTube, I think, where some girl gets mad at one of the guys in the band and throws his guitar out the window or something like that. There, but the one we've all seen is the one that is like in a like a dead end street with some girl walking and
Yeah.
explosions. And by the way, if anybody knows the name of the girl in that video, please let me know. I'm trying to find out who the hell she is. Gorgeous, and because I want to make another episode of Video Vixens one day. So, and she is really up there. I really think gorgeous. But yeah, there's two different versions of that. There's two videos for that, and I also give it a 10.
Oh,
It's the perfect pop rock or pop hard rock song. Like they were a little bit poppier than your average hard rock band there, but they were still like they had some kick-ass riffs. Just that one song to me is a little poppier, but it's a great song. It was to and this was not even their biggest hit off of this album, but it's their
mm-mm.
most known song,
Yeah. Yeah.
their most well-known song. They always play it probably at the end of a show there. So yeah, Don't Treat Me Bad gets a 10 out of 10 for me for that. All right, next up we have Ought to Be a Law.
Ought to be a law. This song gets I'm gonna give you the rating first, then I'll tell you why. Gets a 7.
Okay.
Could have been an 8, but the more I listen to this song, the more it reminds me of the Warrant song, So Damn Pretty Should Be Against the Law. It's
I
like the
just did a review of
same
that album.
song. Huh?
I just did a review about
Oh,
that
did you?
album like a
It's like
couple
the
of
same song. And
yeah.
and I mean it's slightly different, but it just reminds me like it's like they heard that song, say, "Oh, we're going to do that song, but we're going to change it up a little bit." And so, so I give it a 7. I like the song, but the more I hear it, I'm just like, "Is that the same song?"
Now you've got me curious. I'm gonna have to go listen to those
Well,
songs back.
yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, they're not super similar. The theme of it is the similar part, really, and so I gave it a 7. But I like it. It's kind of heavy, rocks out a bit. Good stuff.
Okay. I also gave it a 7. It's good. Nothing to write home about, basically. There, it's
Right.
but again, it's nowhere near bad. It's just like a very good, solid song for me there. So yeah. Now I'll have to go check that Warrant song again. Even though I told myself I'll be taking a break for a year for that album there, but yeah, 7 for me and 7 for you for Ought to Be a Law. Next up to finish off side one is Lover's Lane.
Lover's Lane. It's also a 7. It's not one of my favorite ones. I didn't like that where it fell on at the last song of that side. I wish it was in a different place.
Okay.
It's a good song. It what did I write? I just wrote it was a good rocking song. It's not one of my favorites on the album, but still a good song. I mean, everything on it's good. There's nothing that I
The
would say, oh God,
drumming
I
is
hate
cool on that song. There's a
that.
little
Yeah,
bit of double
yeah,
bass, if I remember there.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Um,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. That's really all. I don't have much to say on that one.
I gave it an 8. I do like the song. It's that chorus is very good. The rest is good, but that chorus to me on the Lover's Lane one, I was like, okay, yeah, that's a pretty catchy chord. I'm actually, I'll say more at the end, but I'm actually liking this band slash album a lot more now than I did at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
Really?
I'll explain why at the end there. But yeah,
Um,
Lover's Lane for me gets an 8. I do like it. So you gave it a 7, and then I gave it an 8.
mhm.
All right, next one is "Home Is Where the Heart Is" on side song one, side two.
Now side two, I think, is better than side one. Uh, as far as uh everything, the ratings and all go up a little bit on this side. So home is where the heart is. It's like that. That's got the great catchy chorus. It rocks out. Um, I mean, I could just hear it in my head.
I
When
know,
just
me too, right now because we're talking
it's
about it.
like what do they call that?
Earworm.
An earworm,
Yeah.
an earworm or
Ear
something. Yeah,
candy.
it's definitely a great song. I gave it a 9.
Okay, Kevin, I think you and I are very close. I also gave it a 9 for this one.
Well, we're
I
waiting on one part of this album. We're waiting to see if we're going to do the same.
Okay, no, but I mean, usually, I mean, man, we looked at our Saigon Kick episode. That was like, you were like tens. I was like, no. This one, we're kind of, it's close. Um, I do love that really cool keyboard intro to this song. It's
Yeah.
very, but then it goes into a completely different song, and see, that's probably to me would have been a great opener. I think with that little keyboard intro
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
then go into that song. I do love the song. I also gave it a 9.
That's what I say. I mean, I love how this album, the side starts
Yeah.
better than the first side. Definitely, way better.
So yeah, 9 and a 9 for "Home Is Where the Heart Is." Next up, "Don't Walk Away."
Don't walk away. I gave it an 8. It's kind of the one that I don't remember as well, but when I listen to it, I really like it. Like, it doesn't. I don't recall it as easy as the other ones. But it's a good song. It's just one that I got to be listening to it to really think of, to be into it. It's not. But when I listen to it, it's definitely an 8.
Hmm.
Good
Okay,
chorus.
this is one where we're not on the same page. I gave it a 6.5. It's it's a little too slow paced for me. Like, I'm not gonna say doom either, but it's like don't walk away. I'm not crazy about that type of
Yeah, yeah,
song or type of speed, I should say, for a song. I mean, sure, it's different than the rest of the songs on this album, basically speed wise,
yeah, yeah.
but it's not for me. It's a good song. I don't mind it at all. I'm just putting a 6.5 for that one. It's my well, my least favorite of the songs. So
Yeah.
all right, so I gave it a 6.5 and you gave it an 8.
Hey,
All right,
I didn't
this
know point
go ahead.
fives. I have to read next time. I'll have to reconsider some grading because I was just going with even numbers. I wasn't doing the point five kind of
I,
stuff.
I never do myself either, but I was like, okay, it's not to me. It wasn't a 6, but it was not a 7. So
Right, right,
how
yeah.
about I meet
'Cause
myself halfway?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, this one I'm actually curious to see what you think here. Seasons of Change, and we actually talked. I'm like, are we leaving this song on? And the reason I said that because it was a instrumental fluff song there, and
Fluff, he says.
he's like, oh, that means you don't like it if you're asking this question. I'm like, well, not necessarily. So, what did you give Seasons of Change?
Well, as I once told you, you wouldn't know a classic if it was put right in front of you. So, Seasons of Change. It's a instrumental, but it's a short instrumental,
Hmm.
and that's what I love about it. Because a lot of these, I think that was starting to be a trend in the late '90s. I mean, late '80s, early '90s,
Hmm.
because they all were doing the ballads, but then they started doing these little interlude kind of things with these instrumentals. You know, Baton Rouge did it twice. A couple other ones did it, and so Seasons of Change is on this one, and what is it? Maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes at the most.
About that there.
Uh, and so, and I love it. I
You
gave it
love
a
it.
10.
Okay.
I gave it a 10 for what it is. Yes, I did, because
Holy.
when you do when you do these little short things, for some reason they catch my interest. For some reason, if it's a long instrumental, I don't want to hear it. So, like,
Okay. Yeah.
if I was listening to Dream Theater or whatever, and their songs are like 20 minutes long, I am not listening to that, even though they're not. I don't know if they're all instrumental or not, but I don't want to hear it. If it's 1 or 2 minutes, I'm in, and this
Okay.
did it.
A 10
So,
though. Wow. Okay.
a 10.
All right. Well, this one we were not on the same page at all, which is fine. I don't have a problem. Like, I do like these types of songs here and there, and I'm total agreement with you that the shorter the better. For these little, I just find his guitar noodling or the song not very interesting, even though it's probably talented and what he's doing is very talented. I just find it's not something that I'm humming away. Or I gave it a 4. It
A 4.
Yeah, it's my least. Again, I don't consider it a song, but yeah, it's my least favorite track, I guess, off the album. And again, has nothing to do with the guy's talent. The guy's actually he does some pretty cool stuff, which I think we'll see in the next song or the last song. I forget there, but I was like, no, I just didn't find it interesting. But talent wise, he can play. It's
Yeah,
just to
yeah.
me, it was just a very weak composition. But that's just me. But
You wouldn't
and a
know a class.
few, yeah. So a 4 and a 10 for this.
Jeez.
Next up, where the Seasons of Change goes into Overnight Sensation.
And it continues to be an awesome song, I think.
Yes.
This is one of the best songs on the album, I think. It's really catchy, heavy, fast kind of stuff. And I give this one a 10 as well.
Okay.
Um, I find myself singing this to just over the years, just like walking around, and you know how a song will come to you while you're walking around doing whatever. That's one of the songs that does that for me. I don't know why, but I really love it, and so I give that one a 10 as well.
Cool. Yeah, I give it a 9. It's a very good fast rocker. It's probably the speediest song on the album, probably.
I think
I
probably
think so.
probably so. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a great. Again, these guys know how to make a good hook in a chorus. I'll give them
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
And this is one of them right here. I just love this song there. Don't think it's perfect, but yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9, and you're giving it a 10. So yeah,
I give it a 10.
yeah, perfect. Okay, next up, Love of a Lifetime.
Love of a Lifetime has got to be. My the only thing I wrote was, and it's a question: is this the greatest ballad of the era? Because it's perfect for the ballads of that time. And if it's not the best one, it's got to be in the top 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Of everybody that was doing that. And I remember this being played. I still hear it on. There's a radio station that they make us listen to at work. It's pumped through the building,
They
and that
make
song
you.
comes on there. It's like light rock kind of stuff,
Yeah.
but they've always got these, the 5 or 6 heavy metal bands, but they play their ballads mostly, unless it's the White Snake song. But yeah, it's just a perfect ballad for that time. I mean, and I think everybody's got to know that song, whether they love it or hate it. They got to know that song.
Well, okay, so you gave it a what?
I gave it a 10.
All right.
Perfect.
All right. Now here's where this song changed for me, and with I when I first heard it, I was like, it's another. It's just this one is a sappy, cliche ballad, right?
Perfect.
There's nothing original, but a good song's a good song, whether it's cliche and I was listening to it this week, getting ready. I'm like, you know what? This song is effing good. I also gave it a 10. I was like, I'm giving a ballad a 10. And I'm actually going to go, okay, and you know what? I'm going to write it down now because I want to talk about these ballads after we finish talking. Like, here it wasn't a hit. Okay, when I'm talking radio or I don't,
Oh, really?
if there's a video for this, I don't know. I've never seen it or probably seen it once and probably didn't care for it because it was a ballad. But I was listening to it, I'm like, man, the melody, sure, it's cliche and sappy. That's never
Oh, yeah.
gonna change.
Definitely.
But man, this song, like I was listening to it, like, man, they really know how to make good ballads, this band. And more on that later after we finish the rating here. So 10 and a 10.
Yeah, I want to see if it what the chart said.
This one here, I got it open right already here. So
okay, yeah. I got it. It was number 5.
Yeah, number 5. That's what I meant by "Don't Treat Me Bad" was not even their highest one. This is their highest charting song on this album.
Yeah,
at number 5.
It says it was number 5 in the United States and 30 in Canada.
Really, it actually charted here too. Wow. Okay, that's
yeah. So I mean, it was everywhere, that song. I don't remember if there was a video or not. That's probably one of the times when I didn't have cable access at the time. So I don't remember, but I just remember that song
at the time really for me were very hit or miss.
Well,
and it was a miss at the time, but now it's a huge hit for me.
I always liked them. What I didn't like was that everybody felt like they had to do one.
Yeah,
and you know at least one, and it always didn't seem very natural. But for this one, it fit for me, and I just think it's one of the best ones of that era.
Yeah, they make good ones. I'll give them that. So all right, 2 10s. All right, and last song, "Helpless."
I don't think the song is really good or really bad. I don't think it's a good way to end this album. After you put it after that ballad, and I don't know, it just didn't seem to work for me. So I gave it a 6. Wow. But it is catchy. The chorus is definitely catchy. And he hits those high notes pretty well on this one.
I know. I wrote that. Yeah.
And he doesn't do that a lot in this album. There's certain parts of it he does, but some bands, that's all they do. Every song they get this band doesn't really do that much. But on this one, yeah, he definitely does. And it could go to a 7 maybe. If I really felt like being generous that day. But I'm gonna stick with a 6. All right. And like I said, the first song and the last song, if they were in a different spot on the album, maybe they would have been higher for me. Okay. Which is a weird thing to say, I guess, but when you listen to it all at once, you kind of compare them and stuff and where you would put them. So I'll go with a 6.
All right. Well, this is another one where we're actually pretty different. I actually gave it a 9. I find it a very good ending song. Mr. 10 for Seasons of Change.
Hey, I told you that's a classic.
But yeah, that last song, and he really shows off his vocal talents. Yeah. And I do like it that he doesn't do it all the time because 1, it gets annoying fast, but 2, that type of vocal gets hurts your vocal cords a lot faster than just.
That's why a lot of them can't sing anymore. Yeah, is because of that, doing that.
So I gave it a 9. I do find it a very good ending of an album here, and you gave it a 6. Now,
we didn't show the record what it looked like, so I'll do that.
Oh, here, go ahead there.
It's got this. Am I on
It's
screen? It's
very.
like this.
I'm not being a pun. Like, it's very Firehouse-ish. Like it's
Yeah, yeah. It
color.
definitely works with the back cover.
Oh my God!
Kind
I
of.
didn't notice that. That's true. That's true. It's like a
I mean,
fire,
it works really well with that.
smoke and fire.
The it says it's smoke and fire vinyl pressing is what it
There you
says
go.
on the side sticker. So that's pretty cool. The just wanted to show that before we forgot. Okay.
Okay, so what is your final rating for the self-titled?
My final rating is an 8.33 out of 10.
And myself is an 8 out of 10.
So pretty
So
pretty good.
very
Very close.
overall, very close overall. Just two songs we're not in agreement with, basically.
Yeah.
Maybe almost three there, but really two that are really far apart, I should say. Now, what I want to say something regarding this band. First of all, this album, I really, really love the drum sound. It's got a different drum sound that I'm used to. And would you believe that for my band, Dead Culture Society, when we recorded our third album, I told a guy, this is the bass sound I want, is Perry Richardson. It's so got so very good bottom end, I find. And my friend, like, because I didn't like my bass sound on the second album we did, because it wasn't done by us really recorded, but we did
Right.
it ourselves. I'm like, I want Firehouse, that sound. That to me is the perfect bass sound. And
Well, you know what? I noticed that last night too, as well, when I was listening to it, because my the speakers I have, for some reason, one of the speakers, something's wrong with it, and so you gotta turn, like, instead of having it in the middle set for both speakers, you got to turn that one up higher, and I started noticing that the bass was sounding kind of really deep on one side, not on the other, and I was like,
yeah.
what's going on with this? And then I listened to it on my headphones, and then I was like, oh yeah, that sounds right.
Um,
um,
and another thing I want to add for this band, so the ballads, okay? So they score a number 5 on the charts for Love of a Lifetime. Then, if you just go really quick to Hold Your Fire, they had also a hit. It doesn't really say here. When I Look Into Your Eyes was another hit for them. But what's surprising, that was 1992. But then they came out in 1995 with their third album and still scored a hit with I Live My Life for You, which landed number 26 in the US. That is really impressive for 1995.
right.
Really
Well, I don't
impressive.
know that, because, like I said before Friday, I had never heard even the second album, but I did hear When I Look Into Your Eyes.
Yeah.
But for some reason in my mind that wasn't them. Like, I was thinking that was somebody else. And when I was like, oh, that was Firehouse. I don't know why I didn't buy it, because I did see the album back then, and I just didn't pick it up, and I don't know. And then like I said earlier, I thought they disappeared after that, but apparently they kept going till, a couple of years ago they had an album, didn't they?
They have 7 albums actually. 7
Seven. So now I've got to look more into
self
to finding more of this stuff.
the later stuff is only available on CD, by the way. Like you got
Yeah, yeah, I know, I
first
know.
one, Reach
Uh,
for the Sky, 3. Then there was a Good Acoustics, which is meh, whatever. Category 5, which is when they went on, I believe, everybody was going on CMC International, but it took
yeah,
them a
yeah,
while to get to that. And then you had Oxygen and Prime Time, I believe, is the other two.
yeah. I
I
got
didn't know
the see those.
those existed until my friend, Steph, who does the Battle of the Albums with me. He's like, "Oh yeah, I got
Yeah,
all Firehouse," and he showed me. I'm like, I've never even
well,
seen these two
yeah,
albums,
yeah. Well, like I
and they're
said, they were big in
great.
Japan.
And they're great.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna look and see if I can, find more. But I mean, it was so funny that I walked into that thrift store and the second one, like I looked at the thing, they had a bunch of CDs, which they never have, and I just started looking through them. I was like, "All these are awesome!" Like everything was in there, and then right in the middle was this, and I was like, "I've never heard it. I just was talking about not hearing it, and there it
Oh,
is."
it's a good. I love that one. Number two there.
But they had a lot of stuff. They had like a lot of '90s stuff and a lot of like hair bands, not
Yeah.
hair bands, but metal bands. But some of them didn't have the disc in them. Like there was a Bon Jovi one. What's the one with the satellite dish that kind of, I don't know what it is. They had that one. I would have bought it for $1. I don't know which one it was, but they had the Bonham one
Lost
I showed
Highway.
you. I don't remember what it was called. But they had Bonham. They had a couple Poison ones, but I already had those. They just had all kind of stuff, and I was like, man, this would have been a good day to not have any of these albums because I could
Yeah.
have cleaned up. But I had most of the stuff.
Yeah.
So
Well, okay. Well, yeah, that's not. And for me, Firehouse, I remember getting into them back then, but kind of stopping after number three.
Mhm.
That to me was like I myself at one time was overwhelmed by how much. We have a friend in common, Kevin and I, with Steve, and he did an episode regarding how what killed hair metal. And I think it killed itself too. It was but at one point, even I was a little overwhelmed by how much hair metal was out there. Like it was getting too much. So
yeah,
I kind of stopped after. No, sorry, I had three, and I bought Good Acoustics, and it's just an acoustic album, and I was like, yeah, I'm not. No, I'm done kind of with this band. And now I'm like, yeah, I need to get I find them to be very great to come back to as opposed to discovering them like this. I find they aged well. Let me put it that way. They
yeah.
aged very well. I just after in the '90s, I was a mess musically. There is like all the ones that I loved were like either disappearing or just it was way too much. But whatever, but good
The
for
thing
that
about the
one.
night for me was that the internet was still it either didn't exist or it was still too young to be able to just go on there and find anything you were looking for.
Exactly.
So I just assumed that all these bands went away. They weren't doing anything anymore because they weren't like if you went to the store, record music stores, whatever, you didn't find any of that anymore. You found the old ones,
Yes.
but you never saw the newer stuff. And then there was no radio play for it. MTV wasn't playing it anymore. And then MTV decided they weren't doing music videos anymore at some point. And so a lot of that stuff, I just thought those bands broke up. That's what I assumed.
Exactly.
And
No, it was like even myself, those two last albums, I was like, when my friend showed me that, I was like, I've never even seen but I think he told me he bought them. Like, Steph, let me know in the comments. Was it you were telling me, or Steph, that he had to get them online or in Japan or something? Like, it wasn't
yeah,
easy. It wasn't easy how he got them. Or it wasn't, not that it wasn't easy, it wasn't really obvious as to where to get them. And I
right.
just couldn't believe I didn't know that there was two. And there's one guy,
Yeah.
I remember we were playing hockey, and there's one guy's, oh yeah, I'm a hair metal expert and all that. And then I have everything hair metal. And then my friend shows him those two Firehouse albums. Well, I've never heard of these. Yeah,
Well,
that guy. So
um,
anyway,
there's always that guy that has everything, and
and then he gets a
yeah,
little bit of karma soup or whatever you want to call it there, or
yeah,
no, that's not what I mean. When you get taught a lesson. Anyway, whatever. I don't know what the
right,
saying
right.
is there. Humble pie? No,
Humble pie. That's it.
that's it. Yeah.
That's what they say.
Anyway,
Um,
but yeah, so we got an 8 and an 8.3 for this album here. Anything you want to add for this one here, or?
no, I mean, I just, it was just, I was glad when it came out. When they put it on vinyl, I was surprised. Just like I think everybody that liked them was. And I hope that maybe they do some more.
I'm hoping that Real Gone will do maybe number 3 because it exists on vinyl, and I don't know if they're just doing issues or reissues of South Korea
I
pressings
don't know.
back
I
then.
wish I knew. how they pick things, because it's not that these things, they can't get stuff that was on major labels, because this was on Epic,
Yeah.
so it's stuff, but it's random sometimes. Like if you see this Britney Fox one, they did that one, but they didn't do the first two. Somebody else put the
Probably because
first.
yeah, because they're still readily available, those first two for Britney Fox. I think they're doing out of, but anyway, I'm gonna ask them more to come on Real Gun Music, by the way,
Yeah.
guys. Hopefully everything goes well there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will ask them for that question too there.
But yeah, they've taken quite a bit of my money.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's you
Because
have more than I
not
do.
only they don't just do the heavy metal stuff that I like, they do a lot of the 90s bands that I like, and they just always coming out with something that I want, and
No,
I
yeah.
have to pass on some of them, but
Well,
they
yeah,
get me.
there's our rating for Firehouse self-titled. So 8 for Kevin, sorry, 8 for me and 8.3 for Kevin. Um, Again, if you guys want us to do a album analysis, just write in the comments, guys, and I write them all down. Some actually pretty cool stuff I've gotten the past couple of weeks there, so I'll get that done eventually there. But Kevin's been waiting a while for this one, so I said let's go do this one here. So Firehouse self-titled. Let us know your thoughts on this album, and I would like to thank my friend Kevin from Sonic Boom TV for doing this and suggesting this one. I actually saw these guys live. It was Firehouse was the opener, then Quiet Riot when Kevin Dubrow was still alive, but
Wow.
much later, Rat with Jizzy Pearl singing, and Cinderella. Hey, no, it worked. It was great.
I like him, but I don't like that he's like the replacement singer for everyone.
Yeah, he does. His
He's been
own
so.
career is not really going
Well,
anywhere.
I think wasn't he the replacement for Quiet Riot too?
He is right now.
Oh, he is now. So
Yeah,
he did
he is
Rat,
now.
Quiet Riot, a couple other ones, and I was just like, well, I guess he knows every song.
Yeah, he's got a good voice. I do like his voice, but it's like I guess his own stuff is just not very. People are not buying it. I guess so. So anyway, thank you, Kevin, for doing this. And again,
Anytime,
guys, write in the comments. And on that note, thank you guys for watching, and we shall see you guys next episode. Take care. Bye bye.